Have you ever felt called to something, but you had no idea how you get there? Me too. Welcome back to Faith in the Magic, where we see God's fingerprints in every story. And today, we are going to be talking about Hercules. And specifically with Hercules, we are going to be talking about one of the most popular songs of the movie, Go to the Distance. And I wanted to touch on this because we're still in, the new year, 2026, settling in. And, we may be struggling with leaving what looks familiar, what we've been around for years, or staying in our hometown, or staying in a position that we are just really ready to be elevated to something new, something different. And somebody, you may be just really wanting something different, something new for yourselves, and you just feel like 2026 is the year to go out, discover, adventure, and see what else is out there for yourself. Then this is for you. And of course, not knowing where the journey ends or what's going to happen, and just kind of going out on a whim and not planning anything can be very challenging and very hard. But I believe that someone that is listening to this, and whoever watches this, whenever you're watching this, that there is something that you have on your heart that you feel you are being led to do, and you're just not sure what that looks like, what the road looks like, how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there, what's going to happen when you get there, what it's going to look like, if it's going to be smooth, if it's going to be easy, if it's going to be fast paced, if it's going to be slow paced. But you have to trust yourself, trust God, and step out on faith. Faith over fear is going to be the mindset for this whole entire year, in just going out and doing what you know that you are meant to do and what you have been called to do. And in the movie Hercules, we see the challenges that Hercules faces. We see the strengths and the weaknesses and the things that Hercules is, blessed with. He becomes a hero, and then he loses the powers because of, falling towards, what Hades wanted and all these other things. But we have to remember that Hercules, was trying to just figure out where he fit in. Hercules was trying to figure out where he belonged. And you truly have to allow yourself to discover everything this world can give you, and not miss out on what could really be the best place for you to be at. So, if you're somebody that you've been thinking for months, man, I really enjoyed this vacation at this specific place in, this city and this state. I want to go back and explore more. I feel like there's more for me there. Or you're at a job position and you've been in that role for like a few years, and you're like, man, I really want to go out for this position, but I don't have the credentials. I'm not sure if I'd be fit for this position. You are fit for the position. You don't have to have the credentials like somebody else does, because just being you, your character, and the things that you brought to the table over the years, people see that. You may not think it, but people see that work that you've put in, and they see the silent behind the scenes work that you've put in. Go for that job. That job is sitting there and could be sitting there waiting for you. The people at the, job, the company could be sitting there waiting for you to apply and just not saying something because they don't want to push you into something you're not ready for. But you are ready for the job. And I'm here to tell anybody that's watching that you are ready for the job. You are ready for that move. And I want you to be encouraged to do it and step out on faith and not let fear control your decisions anymore. I want this to be the year that we step boldly and confidently into the things that we are doing, the plans that we have for our lives. And I don't want us to let fear or the doubts or worry of, I don't know if I belong there. I don't know if it's going to go right. What if I fail? Let fear leave your mind and your body right now. Faith and trusting yourself and having the people around you, your village, encouraging you, and God will be the thing that will help you get through. Go the Distance explains, that you have to trust the journey. It's, about hardship. There will be things that you go through that will be hard, but it's also about trusting the journey. But it's also about somebody that is longing for purpose in their life. They know that there's more for them, but they just don't know what that journey and that road looks like. But you have to cling to knowing that there is something more for you, and not let fear keep you from really seeing what that journey looks like for yourselves. And I want to remind you guys that faith is continuing to walk forward when the calling is clear, but the path is hard. Y'all, the path is going to be hard. The path is not going to be easy. We are not going to understand why certain things happen during that journey. But just know that as long as you cling to faith and you have faith in not only yourselves, but in the journey ahead, and that you are headed in the right direction, that is all that matters. God is going to guide you and lead you. Go blindly. Go into it blindly. You may not have, especially for somebody that may want to move in this season, you may not know where you're staying or, what it even looks like. You may not ever step foot into that apartment. You may just look and talk to the people on the phone and, look at the pictures. You may not know what it looks like until you get there. And sometimes that's what we have to do, especially with jobs. You may not be able to travel back and forth to go see what those places look like. But you have to trust that what you are doing is what you are supposed to be doing. Don't second guess yourself. Don't let anybody talk you out of it either, but don't second guess yourself, because you are doing what God has called you to do. And I want you to listen to that, voice that you've been hearing that is saying, go, move. I need you to go now. Because if you don't move and you don't go and you don't try, you'll never know. And then you'll live a life with regrets. And we don't want to do that. 2026 is a year to live our lives with no regrets. It's to follow our dreams, even our childhood dreams. It's to live and heal our inner child. It is to walk boldly and confidently. And it is also to walk in faith and not fear. And I want to read our scripture. It is going to come from Galatians 6:9. Let me find it. 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." I'm going to read that again. "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So everything that God has for you is out there. He's just waiting for you to be ready to receive what he has for you in his perfect timing. And we can't, become sad or trying to, get in our head and have these negative thoughts about, oh, well, what about this? What if I fail? What if you fail? If you fail, it's okay. Get back up. That's the beauty in failing. Sometimes I think that we're so afraid of failing because we think that once we fail, we're never going to be able to accomplish it like we thought. You are. Through the journey and through the process of becoming what you're supposed to become and who you're supposed to be, you may fail. You may not, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect on this earth. So failing is a part of growth and it's a part of life, and also you as an individual learning through your own journey. It's okay to fail, but don't grow weary, because if you go toward what God has for you, there will be a full harvest. And when I say harvest, that means there will be a full multitude of things and blessings and opportunities on the other side of that, and you will be abundantly blessed. So continue to strive towards what God has for you, and don't let fear keep you from the things that God has for you. To have arrived, to be obedient. God honors the courage to keep going, and that's all he's asking us to do, is to keep going, move forward towards those dreams and those goals that we have for ourselves. And Hercules leaves what's, familiar to him. He goes on this journey, and he doesn't know where the journey is going to end, but he's trusting that there's a place that he belongs. He believed that there was something more for him, and he went towards that. And I want us to have the courage and the strength like Hercules to go towards those dreams and those things that we have for ourselves, and even the vision and the goal that we have. This song it's not about winning. It's about trusting the journey ahead. Trust the journey and trust yourselves during the journey, and know that this is where I'm going to grow and I'm going to really become who I have been meant to become. There are some seasons of obedience that'll feel lonely, but God meets us in the middle of the journey. And I know this firsthand because of my solo trip. God met me throughout my whole solo trip. He was with me throughout my whole trip, and I was able to self-reflect and see that God is about to do something big in my life. And even though it may be scary, I may not know what's on the other side of what, he's planning for me, or what the map is going to look like, where, every single step. I don't need to know that. But I do know that I trust in my Father. I trust in God that he is going to lead me, and he is not going to, lead me astray. He's not going to leave me nor forsake me. He's going to lead me on the path of righteousness. And I'm going to trust him wholeheartedly with the plan that he has for my life, because I know it's bigger than anything that I could have ever imagined for myself. God has placed a calling on your heart. Keep going. You don't need to know the full plan or what he'll do. Just the courage to take the next step. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. Go listen to the song, Go the Distance. That is one of my twin brother's favorite songs. He loves Hercules and he loves that song. And truly, if you really listen to the lyrics of the song, you will be blessed, and it'll be something that encourages you. And I hope it is something that encourages you to keep going and to know that there is more for you on the journey ahead, but don't let fear keep you from what is meant for you. And that is the thing with fear and failure, is it will keep us for the rest of our lives from things that we are meant to be doing. But we're so scared, and we're sitting in, this little shell in this box, and we're not allowing ourselves to go towards what is really supposed to be for us. So again, you don't have to know the full plan or what he'll do, just the courage to take the next steps towards what he has for you. And I hope this encourages somebody that is watching. If this encourages you, share it with somebody else, and also hit that bell so you can be notified when I post another video, and also hit that subscribe button so you can join my family. I love you guys, and go the distance. You can do it. Bye. See you in the next video.